Yuji opens his eyes. Not as a sorcerer, not as Sukuna's vessel, but as a newborn child. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into what would happen if Yuji was reborn with all his memories. So he'll know what happens in Shibuya, he'll know what happens in the final fight, he'll know everything. Let's get right into this. Yet his mind unchanged, he remembers everything. Gojo's smile, Megumi, Nobara's laugh, and every life lost because of him. This time, Yuji doesn't cry. He stays silent because he knows how this story ends. As he grows up, Yuji realizes something terrifying. He can still see curses. Yuji realizes he needs to gain back his power, so he thinks extremely hard and remembers where to go to get to Jiu-Jitsu High School. So he goes and finds a young, arrogant, pretty goddamn annoying Gojo. He asks if he can train him, and of course Gojo says no. Yuji avoids fights with curses and trains himself from the memories he had with Gojo to try and get stronger than he was, to try and beat Sukuna early on. At this point, let's say it's been a few years now and he's like, say 13 years old. He's pretty strong and knows a few moves, but still hasn't become a vessel for Sukuna and is thinking if he even should do it. From now on, the story really just plays out how it usually does. So Yuji goes to school normally. His grandpa says his last words, if you're wondering, it's help people, don't die alone. And he ends up eating a finger. Now that is insane. And this is where we get to where he meets Gojo. When Yuji's in the execution room with Gojo, Gojo recognizes him. Yuji shows off his strength and how he can suppress Sukuna. Gojo's impressed, so he takes him under his wing and shows him even more stuff. Yuji was unsure, but he ended up telling Gojo about the whole memories thing. At first, Gojo didn't believe him, but then he kind of proved it, I guess. We're going to have to say he proved it for this to work. But yeah, let's say he proved it to him, and then Gojo's like, whoa! Nothing really major happens until Shibuya. Now this may sound weird, but I came up with this idea. So instead of Yuji going, he stays with Gojo and goes with Gojo to save Gojo from being sealed. So when they go in, they obviously see Kenjaku, and Gojo's just stunned. But Yuji reassures him that it's just someone body swapping with Geto. Also, they defeat Timu Maharaga faster because Gojo is with Yuji. They see Kenjaku. Yuji remembers the culling games and tries to take him down. And with Gojo's help, they end up doing that. But they don't kill him fully. So, not realizing that he's not dead, they go on to find Mahito and the others. So, Yuji finds Choso and ends up picking him up way quicker to be on his team and never ends up getting knocked out, which equals never getting the fingers. But to make this work, we're going to make it so then they fought for a bit longer because maybe Gojo was doing something and then he ate the fingers. But Yuji kind of suppressed Sukuna at the time. But Jogo still died. Everyone fights Dagon the same, except they don't get the burns because Jogo is dead before they get the burns, which means the Nanami stays alive for now. Gojo and Yuji are running through the halls until they see Mahito standing next to Nanami. Gojo boosts in, punches Mahito, and they just keep on fighting. And then obviously, since Gojo is Gojo, they scare the hell out of Mahito, and then they end up getting into that situation the culling games have kind of started. I know I kind of skipped past it and it's kind of a main factor, but by the way, Nobara didn't die, and so did Nanami not die. In this timeline, the culling games really just go on the same as they did, so we're just going to kind of skip to... So the fight starts normal, but the thing is, Yuji is the Sukuna. He has stopped Sukuna from going into Megumi. But in the middle of the fight, he starts overpowering Gojo somehow. So Yuji has to start suppressing Sukuna as fast as he possibly could. But right now, he's on 19 fingers. Gojo has one last thing up his sleeve. He has a finger. So he baits in Sukuna by checking the finger. Sukuna, of course not being dumb, doesn't go for the finger. But he thinks to himself, he could easily overpower Gojo if he just took that finger. So he does. He eats it. 4 arms, 2 mouths, and whatever the thing is over his eye. This is full power Sukuna. Literally everyone is around Sukuna. They're all looking at him to try and kill him. So everyone uses their strongest moves. Some nails flying in from Nobara. Even a hollow purple from Gojo. But will it work? Everyone uses their strongest ability all at once onto Sukuna. Yuji suppresses Sukuna. And he's dead. Everyone lives on happily ever after with all their friends. If you want more videos like this, comment down below, like and subscribe. And comment a character that I should do next for if they're reborn with all their memories.